Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to this video. It's been a long time guys, been a long time since I saw you guys. We are at 300 subscribers. Woo! I'm so happy. Thank you so much for the 300 subscribers so far. We've really come a long way. And I really want to say thank you. Continue subscribing, continue sharing my videos, continue liking them and commenting down below wherever you can. So in our today's video guys, about violence generally. So when we talk about gender-based violence, it's a whole wide topic and it's a whole course that is being done by a gender student. But I would like to talk in perspective of the different violence that happen within men and women, between men and women, and even young people. You know, we have different groups looking at minorities, and we have PWDs, people with disabilities, we have youth, we have minority groups, women, men, and we are, we go through violence in different ways. So I'd like to talk about the different types of violence, and drawing from the different types of violence, I would like to talk about one of the violences that I feel like it's not talked about as such, but it's one of the violences that can take someone into depression. Something that I have undergone through, and I would like to talk about it because, hey, it's something people don't talk about it, and I feel it has a very, very hurtful consequences compared to any other type of violence. So we have different types of violence. We have sexual violence as one. We have physical violence. We have financial violence, abuse, I would say. We have emotional violence, and that is what I'm going to go deep into. So in defining violence, generally it is trying to harm someone, either physically, emotionally, or all perspective. Holistically, violence is violence. So in our today's topic, it's already 2 minutes down the line, and I would like to talk about emotional violence because that is one of the violences that in Kenya, I wouldn't talk about any other place, but I would talk about the country that I am in, and that is Kenya. I think that type of violence is not considered as violence. And looking at policy and everything that is associated with violence, I don't think you can go and report that someone has emotionally abused you or emotionally violated you, because most of the time violence is regarded as harm done to someone, either physically, and you can see that, and that is what someone can see. It's tangible, and yeah, that person has hurt me. You can see my leg is bleeding, or my head, or this person has hurt my head, and have such things show that you have been violated. In terms of sexual violence, there are proofs. If at all someone has raped you, you can go and they can really ascertain that someone raped you. When you look at emotional violence, there's no place that you can say this is tangible evidence that this person has really violated me. There's no tangible evidence regardless of how you express it, and that is why it is not talked about, or it is not the policies in check, or policies that are there do not second. If at all I report today I have been emotionally abused, there is nowhere I can really ascertain that I have been emotionally abused. The only place would be maybe if I go for therapy and I am diagnosed with depression, and maybe that would ascertain. But moving forward, if at all I am violated emotionally, then where do I go to? And if at all I am emotionally violated and I can't afford a therapist who can ascertain that I am in depression, then what happens to me? There are very many questions that I ask myself in terms of someone who is emotionally abused, that I don't think I can get answers as of now in Kenya, contextual Kenya as a country. So, and that's why I chose this topic as a very crucial one, since I have been emotionally violated in the past, and I felt like I don't know how to explain it. Explain to someone that this person really violated me. This person really made me feel inferior, made me feel like I I am entitled to his anger or her anger. You know, such people who make you feel that you are the one who has always been the mistake, or the person who has always been instigating fights, when in any case you are the victim, you know. And when you're emotionally abused, you would never know. You'd never know that someone is really emotionally torturing you until when you sit down and then you're like, wow. Okay, after I was in that situation, and that happened, and that person actually really made my whole time, I was so can I say, I was really, my head was not there. I was just asking myself a lot of questions as to why that person was blaming me for things I wouldn't have done, or they have their own thoughts about who I am. And you know, people who are who emotionally abuse you, they are actually in fear of who they are. They don't know who they are as. That is one. Second, they don't want to take responsibility for their actions. That is two. Three, people who emotionally abuse you, they want to take the victim, even though they are not the victims in the situation. They would really want to make you understand that you are the one who did wrong, and you should take responsibility and say sorry, even though you're not the one who actually did anything in the first place. So I would really want us to have this conversation more in Kenya of what happens to emotionally abused human being, and where does this person go to. Because if I go and report that I've been emotionally abused, there are procedures. I mean, you'll be asked what happened, and then you say this person did this. It's a whole story, and then there's nothing that will be done. I am assuring you, just go and try. I'm assuring you, no one will take no one will even care if you're not beaten, if you cannot show evidence that this person hurt you. No one will care. So this is something we should talk about more often, because it's one of the gender-based violence that is happening. And for someone to reach at a physical violence, that person has emotionally tortured you for a long time. That is an assurance I'm giving you. Before you reach at a place where someone is beating you, or someone is mistreating you, or they're just doing physical violence, then there's a lot of emotional violence that has gone on in whatever situation, whatever relationship, if it is a relationship, or whatever. So yeah, generally that was the conversation I needed to put out there. Important for us to have this discussion. So what next? What if you know anywhere that you can go? I mean, there are many places where you can go if you're emotionally abused and explain, and that person will really get to understand where you are. But that needs a specialist who can really understand. But basically, people who have no knowledge of emotional violence, they would never get you. So it's really important for us to gain knowledge on what next, what happens if you're emotionally abused,